Hi, welcome to Features Corner. We talk about business, life, and a little bit of everything in between. And welcome to part 3 of the entrepreneurial journey, where I talk about things that I find most people overlook when starting a business. Now, just to give you a quick update, on part 1, we spoke about getting to know yourself. When you start a business, it's important to know the type of person that you are so that you can be confident in whatever that you're starting. And then I gave you 5 tips to get to know yourself a little bit better. And in part 2, we spoke about 7 different industries that you can look into when you want to start a business but don't know where to start. The third point we're going to talk about today is where I realized that a lot of people don't do a feasibility study when starting their business. They don't evaluate the feasibility of the business that they are starting. Now you must be wondering, what's a feasibility study? What on earth am I supposed to do with a feasibility study? Don't worry for too long. In this video, that's what I'm going to be tackling today. So what is a feasibility study? A feasibility study is an assessment of studying the practicality of a proposed project or method. Let me break it down for you. Say, for example, you want to start a business, and your business you want to sell ice cream. A feasibility study is a study that you're going to do to test the practicality of your ice cream selling. Is it something that the neighborhood wants? Is it something that's going to sell? Is it something that's going to be profitable for you to start? Is it something that's going to make you money in the next coming years? So you are going to look at certain things. How much does it take to start the ice cream business? What is needed to start the ice cream business? Is the market allowing you to sell it at the price that you want to sell it at? So now that we're finished with the starters, let's get into the main course. Okay, into the main course. Now, under this feasibility study, or what is a feasibility study, I will be focusing on 3 topics that I feel are crucial for you to look into before you start the business. And under those 3 topics, I'm going to give you 3 bullet points for you to focus on so that you can understand the topics better and help you better make your feasibility study before you start that business. This business is going to be a baby, so you want to make sure you know what to feed your baby, what type of clothes to buy for your baby. You just gotta make sure that you have enough information for you to take care of this baby, and this is part of taking care of this baby. So what is market demand? A market demand is when you assess the potential demand of your product or your service. This typically involves analyzing existing market data. So this is data you can find online. You can conduct surveys depending where you want to start your business, be it your neighborhood or at school. So you can conduct surveys, interviews to figure out where people's minds are with the product or service that you want to push. So the first topic we're going to look at under market demand is analysis of target market. This is when you look at the demographics and segmentation of the target market that you want. So you want to identify and analyze the characteristics of your target market. For example, their age, their income, and their location, so that you can get to understand who will buy this product or service. And then you're going to look at the market size and growth. So you're going to estimate the number of potential customers and the expected growth of your market over time. So say, for example, you want to, like we said, sell ice cream, and you think, okay, I want to start with a particular school or neighborhood. You are going to see, okay, what is their income? If they're learners, how much do they get from their parents every day to spend, and where are they located? And then you're going to figure out, okay, I'm starting with one school, how many students can I attract? And then if you move into other schools, the growth, what is the potential growth from 50 to 100, depends with your study that you're going to make. And the second subtopic we have is what we call a demand forecasting. Now, under demand forecasting, we have what we call short-term and long-term. This is when you project your future demand to assess whether the market will support the business over the initial period and beyond. So when you're starting that business, you're going to try to see, is it something that's going to be welcome? Does it have room for growth, short-term and long-term? And then you're going to look at the seasonality and trends. So you're going to evaluate how demand might fluctuate due to seasonal effects or emerging trends. So is your ice cream going to sell more in winter or in summer? So those are the type of things that you're going to look at. In the short term, is it going to be a seasonal thing? In the long term, is it going to be something that now people are used to eating ice cream both in winter and summer? Those are what you're going to be looking at when you're doing your forecasting. Okay, so getting into our second topic is what we call competitive landscape. Now, what is competitive landscape, you may ask? It is researching existing competitors and evaluating how you can differentiate yourself. Now, you are going to figure out, I sell ice cream. Why is my ice cream different? What's going to make my ice cream different? And what's going to make clients or customers that you are targeting buy your specific ice cream, apart from your competitor? First subtopic we have under competitive landscape is identification of competitors. So before you even go anywhere, you need to know, when you're starting a business, who is your competition or what is your competition. And please remember that competition can be something that's very healthy. So never look at competition as a negative thing, but as a positive thing, and that will allow you to also position yourself in a positive way. So we have what we call direct competitors. This is a business that offers the same or very similar product or service to yours and has the same target market. And then indirect competitors, that is a business that offers either substitute products or services that could fulfill the same need or solve the same problem. So your direct competitors, you guys have the same target market and similar or the same product or service. And for indirect competition, we are looking at things that are not necessarily what you offer. In the case of the example that we have is selling ice cream. So this could be people that sell ice lollies. It could be people that sell cold drinks. So these are things that you normally have in summer, you normally have when it's hot, and you normally have ice cream when it's hot and in summer. So these are people that don't sell what you sell, but they kind of substitute what you sell. And the other subtopic under competitive landscape is competitive strategies. This you have pricing, competitors' pricing strategies, and how they position their product or service in terms of cost. So pricing, you have the same people, both of you guys are selling ice cream, they are your competitor, but their price is slightly below yours, and that's the difference. And then in marketing and sales, competitors' marketing tactics, branding, advertising, and sales channels. So how does your competitor market their things, their product or service? How does their competitor brand themselves? How are they positioning themselves in their customers' mind? Those are the things that you can have to differentiate you from your competitor. How you market yourself and how you make your sales. Then you have distribution. These are methods used by competitors to distribute their product or service. For example, you have online, you have retail. So can people buy your ice cream online? Can they order it online? Do you do deliveries, or is it only order at the shop? And if, for example, your competitor has online and can deliver and you don't, that's an advantage they can have from you. But sometimes it doesn't mean if your competitor is doing something that it will work for your business or for your location. So you have to be very careful in trying to do what your competitor does. You just need to be also led by your customers. Last subtopic under competitive landscape is trends and developments. Industry trends are current trends affecting the industry, such as technological advancements, regulatory changes, or shifting consumer preferences. So these are things that honestly nowadays have our market, I don't want to use the wrong word and say chokehold, but they are really having our markets in the hand. Trends are things that make or break sometimes a business. Sometimes getting onto a trend can kill your business or boost it, and sometimes it can give you the recognition that you need. So you need to use industry trends to your advantage. Don't always look at trends and want to hop on. be careful and do your study before you get into industry trends. But threats, these are challenges posed by competitors that could impact the success of the new business, such as aggressive pricing, strong market presence, or high barriers to enter. Now, I'm sure, especially in monopolistic markets, this is very true, where you have high barriers to entry or you have aggressive pricing. So say for example, you're starting your ice cream business and you have a competitor and you sell your ice cream for 10 rand and they now sell theirs for 7 rand. So they can either want to buy you out, where people are always going to go to them for a lesser price, or they can have a strong market presence. Say you have a competitor that sees your potential and has more money than you, so will have a more advantages to have strong market presence and push their marketing and just push their sales through the marketing or advertising space, and you don't really get the recognition that you need because they are already an established company. Last but not least, as I always say, we have resources. So under resources, we only have one subtopic, which is operational resources. So the first one is supply chain. This is the network of suppliers and partners needed to provide necessary inputs and manage distribution. So you need to figure out your supply chain. Who's going to be your provider? Are you selling your ice cream where you already have the distributor sells you fully packaged ice creams for you to resell, or are you making your ice cream from scratch? So those two businesses, they both sell ice cream but will have two different distribution supply chains. So are you getting, when for example you're making your own ice cream, you obviously have to get your own milk and your own ingredients, whereas where you buy and resell, you just need to worry of the supplier and just reselling, unlike having to have different ingredients and having to have different suppliers. And then we have inventory. This is raw materials, products or supplies that are needed to start and maintain operations. Okay, I think inventory is self-explanatory, but when you're starting a business, this is very crucial for you to figure out exactly what raw materials you're going to need, because I realized that when you start a business, coming up with a price, some people don't take, for example, manpower, the petrol that you use to get your supplies, the packaging. Some people don't know how to do proper pricing, and then they end up charging based on either the competitors or what's in the market. So you really need to also include things that are your cost, your initial costs, before you add your profit. And inventory are part of the things that you need to calculate in. Okay, so then we have capital requirements, the amount of funding needed to start and run the project. So this is why it's important for you to know how much your raw materials are going to cost, the petrol and every other pricing or any other cost that you're going to encounter. You need to know when you're starting a business, because you need to know the initial capital that's going to be needed for you to start your business. And you're gonna need to also know your operational costs. So okay, I have my raw materials and I have my initial costs and I have everything that I need, but now I need to turn my product into a finished product. What are the operational costs? So this can be your rent, these can be your office supplies, this can be your salaries that you need to pay. So these are your operational. Now you've got your raw materials and everything, which is your initial costs. Then you need your operational costs in any contingency. So anything that might just come up out of the blue, you also kind of need to have money for that, to know how much, estimating how much it might cost you. And then we have legal and regulatory compliance. So this is ensuring that the business adheres to the relevant laws, regulations, and industry standards. Depending on the type of product or service or industry that you're in, you really need to know your laws and regulations around the product or service that you're offering, so that you're always just right with the law. And then we have processes and procedures. This is established processes for managing operations, including production, quality control, and logistics. And then lastly, we have equipment and technology. So equipment and technology, machinery, tools, technology systems, and other equipment necessary for production or service. As we were talking about our ice cream business, what equipment is needed, what type of technology is needed for you to make the type of ice cream that you want. If you are buying and reselling, you just need a fridge. In case of load shedding, you just need an alternative power source. If you're making it from scratch, what type of machinery, what type of equipment do you need? So that's what's under equipment and technology. And that's it for today. Catch you on part 4.